my love for you people, and for the love of teaching forestry, Akash is here reporting for today. Indian Forest Community Service in charge, working under the regime, gonna become a deputy range forest officer. Question number 1. Write the special characteristics of Indian irregular shelterwood system and differentiate it from uniform system. See, it is a silvicultural system. Here we practice the shelterwood cutting to harvest the forest timber. We identify the old trees and proceed with the shelterwood cutting to remove the crops from an old tree in a series of shelterwood cuttings. And while doing so, the crops will fall down to the ground, and going forward will remove the canopy of the forest stand to allow more light to fall on the immature crop. Here the light stimulates the germination and helps the crop to regenerate by natural means. This is what we call as a natural means of regeneration by shelterwood system. In other words, an old-aged tree protects and gives shelter to the young crops, so the old trees are not completely removed until the regeneration of the young crops are established. This is about the shelterwood system. Let's see how the shelterwood cutting is conducted, what all the procedures it involves. See, it involves 3 major groups of harvesting practice. They are preparatory cutting, seed cutting, removal cutting. Number 1, preparatory cutting. The purpose of this cut is to remove species that are not desired, so that they do not contribute seeds to the establishment cut. If this is not a problem, then the preparatory cut is not necessary. The second one, seed cut. It opens up the stand, allowing sunlight to reach the forest floor, where it stimulates the germination and growth of seedlings. Third one, removal cut. The removal cut harvests all the mature trees by giving the saplings full sunlight. The removal cut encourages the rapid growth of a new forest. The shelterwood cutting is done in India. Here we practice this silviculturing technique for harvesting timber. And now you know the procedure to do shelterwood cutting, right? Yes, as discussed in the earlier moment, we do shelterwood cutting for an old-aged forest stand. See, a stand in the sense, it is a community of trees which are uniform in composition, structure, age, size, class, distribution, site quality, spatial arrangement. If an area in the forest having the community of trees which are uniform in all these things, then such community of trees will be considered as a stand. That's how there are many different stands in a forest. A forest is a collection of different stands. Doubts got cleared? So far, all good, right? Yeah, as we discussed in the earlier moment, we do shelterwood cutting for old-aged tree, for old-aged forest stand in India. And the canopy of the old-aged stand is opened up irregularly. The stand is opened up in the sense we do shelterwood cutting to remove the crop and to allow more sunlight. So this way the stand is opened up irregularly and the resultant crop is an uneven aged stand, which means the crop age varies from one to another. See, we consider practicing the shelterwood cutting under the following conditions. Number 1, to reduce the unnecessary sacrifice of immature stand. What does it mean? See, in a forest, if a light does not fall onto the immature stand, then its growth gets stunted, and eventually a life form will be sacrificed for the inadequate light support. Ideally, this shouldn't happen to any life forms in the forest, right? So that's why we proceed with the shelterwood cutting to support all life forms. Number 2, steep slope conditions. See, we can't go by hand planting in steep slope conditions. So we do follow the natural means of regeneration by shelterwood cutting. Third one, when we practice shelterwood cutting, the soil is not completely denuded. So there is a little risk of soil deterioration and soil erosion. Fourth one, the young crop is protected against the adverse climatic factors such as cold, frost, etc. Fifth one, from an aesthetic point of view, the system is superior to the clear felling. See, in an uniform shelterwood system, the canopy is uniformly opened up over the whole area of a compartment to obtain uniform regeneration under the shelter of remaining old crop. Objectives are to supply seeds naturally. Number 2, to provide shelter against the adverse climatic factors. Number 3, to regulate the light conditions inside the forest for better regeneration. Coming to the second question, what are the characteristics features of cold deserts of the Himalayas? Write the scientific names of any 5 tree species of cold desert. Now, the characteristic features are listed as follows. The first one, temperature is less than 0 degrees centigrade for most of the period, which inhibit water absorption by plant. Second one, the atmosphere is very dry and mean annual rainfall is less than 400 millimeter, which creates desert-like influence. Third one, snowfall is heavy and occurs between a late November and early April. Fourth one, wind erosion is more common. Fifth one, soil is sandy to sandy loam and neutral to slight alkaline in nature. Sixth one, the soil has a poor organic matter content and low in water retention capacity. Seventh one, growing period is narrow, which is mostly during the summer season. Eighth one, because of extreme cold conditions, growth of vegetation is slow and stunted nature. Ninth one, native vegetation is scarce and the important species in this area are Pinus gerardiana, Daphne acuminate, Indigofera species, Desmodium species, Artemisia species. Coming to the third question, discuss in detail the silviculture of albizia lebbeck. See, you can find albizia lebbeck down there in the last row. Its common name is cerise, or you can call it as a East Indian walnut or flywood tree. It belongs to a family called as Leguminosae, and it's distributed from 635 to 2540 millimeter. Soil is well drained, mild saline and laterite. Temperature is from -5 to 45 degrees Celsius. The phenology of this albizia lebbeck is like leaf fall, leaf shedding, flowering, seeding. It all happens in a particular month as mentioned, and the silvicultural characteristics are it is frost tender, light demander, not wind firm. Young plants are moderate shade bearer and sensitive to drought, copices well, produce root suckering. Coming to regeneration, natural regeneration, it is a seed but scanty, and artificial regeneration is by direct sowing. Coming to its yield and use, it can be used for furniture, cabinet work, agricultural implements, fodder. So this completes the silvicultural characteristics of albizia lebbeck. Coming to the fourth question, explain the alternative strip system and clear strip system. Write the advantages and the disadvantages of clear felling system. See, alternative strip system is modified clear felling system. Let's understand the clear felling system. See, clear felling means we will cut down the trees to the ground. Now coming to the alternative strip system. It is the modified clear felling system in which clear felling is done in the form of a strips, and one clear strip alternates with the unfelled strips of similar width. Generally, clear-cut strips are oriented at right angles to the direction of the wind. The crops obtained is even-aged. Now coming to the clear strip system. Here the felling is done in the form of a strips which progress successively in one direction across the area, usually against the direction of the wind. This is also referred as a progressive clear felling system or progressive strip system. Clear strip system is applicable for Pinus caesiae. Objectives of the clear strip system are to regenerate the area naturally by seed from adjoining area. to protect the young crop against the wind, snow, insects, fungal attack, etc. Method of regeneration is it can be obtained mostly by natural means. Artificial regeneration is done whenever need arises. Clear strip system is applicable for chir deoda. Advantages and the disadvantages of a clear felling system are, at first let's talk about the advantages. This is the simplest method. Regeneration is assured. Establishment period is shorter than other method. This facilitates opening of forest for grazing sooner. This avoids unnecessary complications with the local tribes. Rate of growth is faster. Yield obtained is also higher. Now coming to the disadvantages of clear felling system. See, natural regeneration is a very difficult and mostly it requires artificial regenerations. It is a costlier due to the artificial methods. Protection of regeneration is too difficult and costly. Fire occurs from unfelled strips may cause damage to the establishing regeneration. Protection against the grazing is difficult one. Weed problem is higher as soil is exposed. Soil deterioration is higher due to more exposure. Coming to the fifth question, what are the major causes of degradation of the mangrove forest? Discuss in brief the methods of rehabilitation of a degraded mangroves. The major causes of a degradation of a mangrove forest are high salinity, waterlogged soil aeration, and fluidity of soil surface. See the methods of rehabilitation of this mangroves. We can rehabilitate the mangrove forest by afforestation and the steps are listed as follows. First one is area selection. The area showing extensive degradation and needs immediate attention is selected. Based on the survey for afforestation, local considerations such as local people's requirement, livestock density, fuel wood requirement, and any other is also considered. The second one is staff orientation. All staffs involved in this afforestation program should be educated about the afforestation topic by talk, field visit and demonstration well in advance. Third one, species selection. Species for afforestation program selected by considering the locality factors, existing mangrove vegetation, local needs of the community and the economic interests. Fourth one, planting stock. Normally 6 to 12 months old natural seedlings are used for transplanting. Polybag raised seedlings are used for planting. Nursery should be near to planting site. Nursery bed of sunken bed with a size of 13 into 1.3 meter, 12.5 into 2.5 meter is used for seedling production. Nursery bed needs bamboo support to prevent the bag destructions by tidal waves. Fifth one, site preparation. In degraded area, the slash be pruned, collected and stacked in the next rows perpendicular or 45 degree to the waterways. It prevents the tidal flushing dispersal of young planted seedlings. Weed eradication is must before planting the seedlings. Sixth one, planting works. Planting is done in the monsoon season in a low tidal zones. Seedlings are planted at a spacing of 2 into 2 meter by manual pushing into the mud. Seventh one, beating up or refilling. Year after planting, areas less than 70% survival needs to be refilled with fresh seedlings. Thinning carried out at the age of 10 to 15 years. Eighth one, protection problems. Browsing by buffaloes is the main problem. Next one is pulling of plants by fishing activities, and it can be avoided by giving two standard barbed wire fencing. Algal growth and associated damage is also seen, which can be controlled by proper weeding. Insect damage such as crab, stem borer, beetles, etc. is also common. Pest control is a difficult task because of washing of pesticide sprays repeatedly. We are done with all 5 questions, and the remaining questions of 2019 question paper will be dealt by me some other day. Until then, thoroughly prepare yourself for all these questions. If you have any doubts regarding these concepts, put your comments below in the comment section. I'll try to sort it out to the best of my understanding. But before that, hope you guys have understood it well. So don't forget to subscribe to my channel, hit that like button and hit that bell icon as well to never miss the lessons coming on your way. Love you, take care, bye bye.